Hello friends, and good morning from the Florida Keys. This is our last full day here in Florida Keys before we go back up north tomorrow. So we're trying to enjoy ourselves while still getting our work done. We spent the morning doing school and work. We're now headed to the pool. You coming, Violet?
Yeah.
We got some blow-up floaties. It came in the mail yesterday. Those are mine. I'm gonna listen to my audiobook while I watch you at the pool. The weather has gotten better from the last 2 days. We had a pretty windy last couple days, and so Mark and the older boys were able to go back out in the water today. Hopefully they'll come home with some lobsters. I don't think they took a camera with them, but we'll see if they come home with any lobsters today so we can have one last lobster feast. But for now, we're just trying to enjoy a down day, get a few things done, and then it'll be time to pack up. What is this one? This is a kiwi.
Yeah.
Kiwi. How are the floaties?
Fun. Mom, let's do something. Mom, show me something. Can I do something with this? No.
Let's have this one, please. Oh. Wow. Maybe not so close to the edge. Okay, Mark and the boys made it back, and we've got 2 lobsters.
Yeah, and we found a number of snow crab or stone crab, and you can break off their claws, and then they regrow those claws, and you can cook these up and crack them open, and there's good crab meat inside here. So you just break off one claw, and then you let them go so they can still fight and survive, and then they grow back the other. So normally people have pots. You can see these pots all over out here, the buoys for them, but we were pretty surprised we found these out, and so we'll make another great meal tonight. Maybe some more steak and lobster or burger and lobster, whatever we make.
Got kind of a garage sale going on here, drying everything out since it's travel day tomorrow. We had a full week here in the Keys, and I thought that it was going to feel so long, and I really feel like we blinked and it's coming to an end. You feel that way?
Yeah, I feel like it's been so short. Some of the people we met, they're like, oh yeah, we're here for a month, and I thought, that'd be kind of long, but now that we've been here, oh yeah, you really can kind of get into a rhythm of just taking it slow and doing these adventures. And we only did like a small amount of the things we wanted to do. We wanted to rent a boat. We couldn't do that because the weather was kind of rough. We a bunch of other fishing. Wanted to do some other fishing.
One interesting thing is it was very different out in the water today. The water temperature was super cold. Mark was telling us over lunch.
A few days ago it was 80 degrees when we were swimming around, and even then we got kind of cold without our wetsuits. Today it was 63, and we know that because there was a boat that went by. He's like, what are you guys doing? And he has a thermometer on his depth finder. He's like, it's 63 degrees. And then another guy we were talking to, he has a pool and right next to the water, and he's like, yeah, my water was 80 degrees, it's not heated, and it's 65 right now. And but it was cold. I mean, after Bennett had my wetsuit on, and he was able to stay out for an hour and a half or so, but within like 10 minutes, I was shivering uncontrollably. I had to get up on the paddleboard. It took me like a half hour to kind of warm up, and Hunter was in for a short while, then he also had to get up. So still, the water was super clear and really neat to see. A lot of fish. We saw some parrotfish, some different kind of snappers, a couple of barracuda. Yeah, just really neat to see that rich life, and but super cold. And then when you dove down, the top, like this much of the water was warmer, and then when you dove down, it got super cold.
So Bennett was the one that ended up getting the lobster, because
Bennett,
he had the wetsuit.
Bennett got both lobster. I caught 2, and they were both too small, so I let them go. But I did get 3 of the 4 crabs. So
Oh, good job.
yeah.
Turns out we could have rented a boat for today. We went back and forth and back and forth. The water is a lot calmer. The wind has died down significantly. I did talk to a family that had tickets to go out to the Dry Tortugas, which is this really cool base, but the tickets are months in advance. You have to buy months in advance. They're sold out through March, or maybe even April at this point. And their trip got canceled. If we'd gotten tickets, it would have been on the days that we were going to go to, so we wouldn't have been able to go out there anyways. So I'm glad that we just went to Key West and explored. Anyways, weather is king, and you just gotta deal with it and, do what you can and still have fun with whatever situation it puts you in. And we know that from life at home in Alaska, and we just continue to adjust our plans because of that.
Okay, where do you want it, Violet? I'm making a cake? I don't know what she's doing.
Playing.
We have not played pickleball here, so we're gonna go play before we have dinner, just so we can take advantage of this nice weather and time and a court. Okay, zona de pickleball. Pista de pickleball.
I'm about to pickle you guys.
Okay, go on the other side so Violet can be in the shade. So here they just have tennis courts, and then they've painted on pickleball lines.
Out! How about you want... I'll play Hunter and me against you guys.
I'm talking about Mountain Dew, baby.
They had a comeback. They beat us.
Winner!
There you go, Dad.
All right, well, we lost, but I don't feel like we truly lost because I think we all played kind of terrible. But we played and we had fun.
I'm gonna miss the keys.
I am going to miss the keys too. I feel like we just barely scratched the surface here.
Time to move on, but yeah, it's beautiful.
All right, the sun is going to start going down, so we're going to start dinner. Violet and I are cutting up potatoes.
You like potatoes?
Everett is going to polish some shells. And Hunter and maybe Bennett, if he comes back, we'll start putting things away. He's going to take down the paddle board that they've used here.
Potatoes? Potatoes?
I think we're good now,
This
Violet.
is the brush we're gonna use to polish. We're gonna put it on the
quick.
we're gonna put it on the grill and just spin it.
Can you get off the paddle?
And it's clean and make it look good. Mommy,
Okay, careful. Oh, we're doing onions.
I'm the person.
I need that. Chips in there. Pistachios.
I show you. Mommy. Open this. Open this.
I know.
Open this. Open this.
Open that, please.
Open this. Open this.
Mike, you go. I'm gonna open this.
It's our final night here, and Everett has been working really hard over the last day or two. Here's these shells that we have, and they're all kind of muddy, but he's done a great job with a toothbrush and another brush, scrubbing them and cleaning them. But we wanted to take it to the next level. So I went to Home Depot when we were going through Key West yesterday, and I bought this adapter for the drill. And we are gonna see if this is gonna help polish it. We're gonna get some water, and Everett's just gonna go to town. Ooh, I like that. So here's the trick, Everett. This drill cannot get wet. You cannot put this in the water. You can't, don't turn it up and get water in it. You'll ruin it, okay? So you have to hold it down like this really carefully. If you, and I see you do it the wrong way, that's working really well.
What was that?
Yeah, just a sec. Let me, so you dip it just a little bit, or actually, Carly, that's right, it me too. So here what we do is don't do this over here. You just pull it out and get it wet. You can kind of dip it to get it wet again. That's working pretty good. Okay, you want to try? Okay, dip it first.
I want to do that first.
Here, want me to dip the shell for you? Here, let me dip the shell. Okay, and then you can just be careful, remember? Okay, here you go. Interesting how this part is darker and that's lighter. Careful, don't hit it with the hard part, just the brush.
I'm trying.
I'll let you go. Just give me a second here. I'm working on this part here. It's harder than it looks. I thought it would work kind of real quick. The toothbrush may be even better, especially for stuffing cords.
Hey, watch this. See all this stuff?
Uh-huh.
What? Last time it was like blowing right off.
Hey, they got me too with the water coming out. Ooh, working it. Some of this stuff really comes off though. I think a little bit of polish and we could really clean these up, especially this part. Thanks. Be careful. You got to be real careful not to hit these edges. I think this ever is best for these big open areas. I see you eating it.
Feels pretty special to be able to eat some Keys lobsters out here on the Keys. Also gonna cook up with some of this infused sunflower oil that Mark got. It's great. It is a little bit spicy, so don't want to use too much of it, but we're gonna use this on the potatoes and onions.
Okay, we've got boiling water in here. I'm gonna take our 4 stone crab claws, and we left the crabs, basically inhumane, but you break it off and they regrow it. That's the custom down here, and the crab lives. So we're gonna put these in and let them steam for 6 to 8 minutes. Those are seared like that. Yeah, hon. Just get that. Yeah, cold water go on, or that is hot. Okay, there's our crab legs. 10 seconds. Sea star? Okay.
Wow, that felt like a special meal for our final night here in the Florida Keys. It was so tasty. The night before our travel day always feels like really busy because we try and get as many jobs done the night before as possible. But you feel a little bit sad that you're leaving because we've just really enjoyed everywhere that we visited and have never done everything we wanted to do. And then it's mixed with an excitement for the next city you're going to because you've got exciting things planned in the next city too. So travel days are long, but they're also in some respects a little bit more laid back because we are in the car for a long time. Okay, we got brownies. Oh, that doesn't look too bad. It was pure, oh, still undercooked over there. I'm gonna flip it and do it for another couple minutes. I've already gone 10 minutes over the normal time. I don't know what the actual temperature is inside the oven. We need to get a thermometer so we can tell, but I'm gonna give it another 10 minutes. Actually, I'm gonna give it another 8.
I was honest about the money I made that night.
I have to show you guys how good these shells are looking after they clean them up. Like, these don't even look like the same shells. I wonder if there's a way we can kind of clean the inside, but I'm so glad we have a couple to take home with us as souvenirs from the Keys. I really wish we could have gone tide pooling again, but there's just only so much time to fit everything in that we want to do. All right, friends, I am doing another load of dishes, sweeping, just a few last minute things. As much as we can get done the night before, the easier the next morning goes when it's a travel day. We'll have to do a final sweep in the morning. We'll have breakfast. We'll have more dishes. But like I said, just the more we can get done, we've found that it makes things go way smoother. I'm gonna sit here and chat for a few minutes. I'm gonna turn on the fireplace. It gets a little chilly here at night these last couple days, so you feel like you can enjoy the fireplace. Mark is putting away the dishes that I just washed, so you might hear him in the background, but we are 25 days into this road trip adventure. And we feel very different than when we started, but I also can hardly believe we are already 25 days in, 5 different locations. Before we started this trip, I went to a YouTube conference and was talking to some different RV families, and one of the ladies, very kindly, said, yeah, you'll want to stay in one place for the first month and just get everything settled and get all the kinks out. And I just had to kind of chuckle to myself because I knew the itinerary that we had planned. 5 cities in the first 25 days. And so we have not stayed in one place. It has just been learning on the go, and that has had a few challenges, but for the most part, we have just enjoyed ourselves so much. And other than wanting to stay longer in each place, we also enjoy going to the next city and experiencing new things. This RV park in the Keys was wonderful for the kids. There were lots of kids to play with. They played soccer in the evenings with other kids. They played in the pool with other kids. So this has been the best RV park for us for kids. The last one we were at, the kids really enjoyed playing pickleball with the people that were staying there, especially the older gentlemen loved playing with Bennett and Hunter, and Mark got in on it as well. So you just kind of find a different vibe at each campsite, and the amenities here have been great, and we've just really enjoyed ourselves. I feel like personally for me, this was the first time I felt like I had a few more just like relaxing days where I wasn't just go, 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 go. We are homeschooling on this journey. We are working. There have been several nights leading up to this point where like Mark and I get the kids to bed and have been up till midnight working on paperwork, or not paperwork, but working on the business and working on homeschool things, and just like there's still things that we got to keep going. He's just still on call for his the job that he retired from, so he's got to answer a few of those emails. Thankfully they haven't needed him a ton, but they've still needed some things, and he's been happy to be able to do that. But we just have had a lot to do, and we feel like this week we did get to relax a little bit more. A little update on our cat Luna. For those of you that love her and know her, she is doing great with the cousins in Alaska. They love her, she loves them, so we're happy that she is doing fine. We get pictures her cuddling up with the cousins, and she is happy to be loved on by them for these 4 months. As far as some of the trickier things that have happened thus far on the trip, the shower is working great. Mark was able to do a really good job of fixing the issue, and we have really been enjoying being able to shower. That's what I'm going to do after I sit here chatting with you guys. I want to shower before I go to bed, and that's just so nice to be able to just shower here and not have to carry our stuff to the shower house.
We are still having some transmission problems with the van.
That's the buzz.
That is frustrating because we spent a good chunk of money and time. It's intermittent, which is the problem. And it seems like when we're upshifting and downshifting around 20, 30 miles an hour, there's kind of a clunk. And then we're getting error codes like every other day when we're kind of driving it around here.
It's hard to recreate though. If you're just like driving, if it's been resting and you just like drive to the grocery store or drive, not very much. The boys are coming in from fishing. They go fishing after dark. So you'll hear them coming in, the older boys.
Yeah.
Everybody else has gone to bed, but, you can't recreate it. Like Mark could not recreate it for a long time. And I was like, this is what's happening when we slowed. Yeah. It's after you drive for a long time on the highway and then you come down into like the 20-mile-an-hour range. When we get into a town or something, then it starts to do this clunk and it's really frustrating.
And it's a little tricky because we have ourselves somewhat tightly scheduled for the next couple weeks. And it's not like we're just sitting somewhere 2 weeks where we can get in with the transmission shop and have them look at it and troubleshoot it. And so
it's also hard because that's the only vehicle that fits everybody.
Yeah.
And so when we put that in the shop, we had to send kids on bikes or one wheels to locations, or somebody has to stay behind.
my brother-in-law was
yes.
visiting us, so he could help us for a couple
Yeah,
days.
the kids went to church with him in their car. So there are options, but it's just tricky because that is what so it's working and we feel safe driving it, but we know that it still has an issue and it needs a little bit of time in a shop. So we're hoping that we can maybe call ahead and get it scheduled so that when we show up somewhere, they can take it right in and get working on it. One thing that we've noticed at this point in the journey is that our kids all look very different. Everybody is very tan. We wear sunscreen, but this Florida sun is no joke. And everybody has nice tan lines when they
At the last place, I was at the pool party that they had on a Wednesday at noon, and this guy said, "You must be from Minnesota or something," because I was like totally white down through my chest and then kind of tan-ish on my back. Because these people have been down here for months and they're all super brown and tan. And I laughed and we had a nice conversation, and there are some nice folks from somewhere up north, Michigan or something. So.
Yeah, but especially like Weston and Everett, who have just spent a ton of time in the pool. They look different. Everybody needs haircuts. I keep putting that on our list of things to do, and we just have not gotten to it. But we did bring our hair cutting stuff with us. So we'll be doing haircuts here sometime, maybe on a Sunday when we have a little bit more downtime. Everybody's not running off to do different things. How are you feeling about the whole road trip and changing jobs?
I find that I don't think about my old job that much. Yeah. I've been there for so long. And I think they're doing just fine without me. I don't know. At least they're not calling all the time. And sometimes you overestimate maybe your importance or how key you are. I feel like I've kind of moved on, and I'm just moving into this new phase because I'm also thinking about our business and working with our YouTube channel and all the things I need to do with that. So
we also were kind of need to put we need to put something on that door. It's so loud every time somebody goes through it. We're not just sitting around at home after sometimes when you're listening to these things about people retiring, they're like, what do I do with my life after I retire? And I think that's a valid concern. Sometimes you put so much into your job that you forget what your hobbies are and things like that. But we just hit the ground running with this trip, sprinting. And so there wasn't really any time. Our life has been so full that I think that has added to the fact that you're not like,
every day I'm just busy with what do I need to fix on the RV? What do I need to do? I gotta clean up around here. What do I need to fix? How am I gonna pull the RV out of this spot? Or, planning our route for the next part. I mean,
or planning an excursion or For me, it's more like planning the food and making sure the homeschool's going on. So we still kind of have different roles, but there's plenty to keep us busy at every moment. And it's good. It's good to be busy. It's good to have things that we're looking forward to. And yeah.
I brought a couple paperback books that I thought I would read. I have not even opened them up once.
We've listened to audiobooks on our travel days. I listen to an audiobook sometimes when I'm trying to turn my brain off and fall asleep, but I have not touched my books either that I brought. It's just we fall into bed exhausted, and then we have not set an alarm except for travel days, which is really nice. We just get woken up by the kids getting up and getting their days started, and so...
Or Violet waking
or
us
Violet
up in the night.
Yeah.
Once or twice.
But she's so funny and sweet. She just like stands there like, okay, I'm ready to come cuddle. Violet has done great on the trip. She takes naps awesome, whether that's in the car, on the way to whatever excursion we're going to. She's 2 years old, so she's had things where she doesn't love to transition from one thing to another. If she's like really having fun at the park, she doesn't love being taken away or things like that. But that's totally normal 2-year-old behavior, and we just find ways to talk to her about it. She still loves reading books. She still loves coloring here. She still loves playing with her little toys. She gets out her toys every single day and plays with them, and then we store them all back away to do it all again the next day. So she's doing really well.
Yesterday when we were in Key West, we were walking around through this neighborhood, and we found one of those little
lending
libraries that people have on their side of their house or their yard, where it's a little box, a couple feet by a couple feet with a couple shelves, and people donate books. So we opened it up, and there was a couple adolescent books that Everett grabbed. He was super excited, and we grabbed an encyclopedia of children's animals for Violet.
Yeah.
And she loves that thing. It's about the size of like an old encyclopedia book that you would expect, but she loves it. And so that was fun.
Yeah, she loved looking through that. And we had just been talking about how, we should get a couple more books for Violet. And so that was one way that we could add to her books. But probably buy her some books along the way at a thrift store or something, just to maybe she doesn't mind reading the books over and over again, but maybe for our sanity, that we don't have to keep reading the same 12 books over and over again, because she's perfectly happy reading those books over and over. But it's fun to add in a new one every once in a while. That girl loves books.
We can almost say the books verbatim. The other day somehow it came up, and Lauren and I were both like quoting word for word one of the books.
Yeah. So the Florida Keys is as far south as you can go, really, in the continental United States. So we feel like we have officially gone to the end of the road, mile zero yesterday, and now it's time to head back up north. Unfortunately, while we were at Key West yesterday, we got new neighbors next to us, and they have parked very, very close to us and have Mark a bit concerned about our departure tomorrow.
One of the things that kind of adds a bit of stress to me is getting in and out of these RV parks, because stuff's really close together. There's obstacles, and it's kind of challenging. It's very challenging, actually, and it's fluid.
They really pack a lot of RVs in here. There's not a lot of extra room for maneuvering cars. It amazes me how close everything is.
When we had our previous neighbors, I was super comfortable. I could pull out. And then the new neighbors pulled in, and they did what they're calling Jack and Jill parking. So everyone else is parking one direction, but they parked the other direction and then came up right up against the side of our site. So
very nice people.
Really nice people.
We haven't had a problem with them being there. It's just the concern that we're leaving tomorrow.
Yeah, it's super, super tight. I talked to the staff here, because I was concerned, like, what are these, why are they allowed to park that way? And they said yes, and they would give us what they call an escort, so someone may come help me if I need it. It's tricky because, this with the trailer and with the truck, we're almost 60 feet long, and you got to pivot that and get it around like really tight corners. It's just kind of a high stakes thing, because you don't want to hurt your car or rig or other people's, and it's hard.
Yeah, so fingers crossed it'll go well tomorrow and we can just figure out the best way out of here. The neighbors said that they would put in their slides if we need them to, but we're like planning on leaving 8 a.m. So hopefully we don't have to bother anybody and we can just back in and out and get out without any problems. But I know that that has been on Mark's mind and stressing him out a bit over the last 24 hours ever since we got back from Key
As soon
West.
as I came back, I was like, oh, we have new neighbors. And I saw, oh my goodness, like my heart kind of dropped because they parked right against us. And I have to make a hard, like 90-degree turn around them. And I have almost no space. So it's, it was a little
Tricky.
kind of lost a little sleep last night worrying about it.
So
No.
we'll bring you along for how things go tomorrow. Hopefully it'll just be no problem. Last time you were a little stressed and you pulled out, no problem, because people had left and things had changed. But I don't think anybody around us will be gone tomorrow. They've all just come. So we'll figure it out. But we are off to bed so that we can have a good day tomorrow driving, especially since we're the main drivers. Hunter has driven a little bit on this road trip, but tomorrow we're going to be going through some major cities, so I'm not sure he's going to be doing any driving. And we have a pretty long, probably our longest drive yet tomorrow.
Yeah, the longest for sure. It's saying between 5.5 and 7 hours.
Depending on traffic.
Yeah.
We're trying to get all the way up to the Orlando area from the Florida Keys. So we've got a big day ahead of us. We are so grateful for each and every one of you that's cheering us along. We hope that you enjoyed just things around here in the Florida Keys. And we just thought we would kind of check in with you here about how things are going up to this point, because I really feel like January was really long. And then this first 25 days of this trip, I feel like I just blinked and it's gone. So it's gone really fast, but I think time flies when you're having fun, and we're having a lot of fun. Somebody asked me today what like a highlight has been, and it's hard for me to even say what a highlight's been, because there have been so many wonderful things. There have been some hard days, there have been some tricky things, but overall, my heart is full of gratitude that we are doing this, and I kind of like pinch myself every day, like, wow, this is really happening.
Thank you to all of you that are helping it be, letting this happen too, for coming along and supporting us and helping us live this adventure.
Yeah, we are so grateful for all of you. We love you, and we'll see you again real soon for more of This Alaska Life on the road.